Hey guys, how's it going? Some of you guys are here early, so I'm just gonna be setting up the room real quick, and then once we get the room going, we can get started. But yeah, if you guys are new here, feel free to put questions in the chat, and then I can go over pretty much any pairs you guys want to go over, and then we'll more specifically go over the US 30 entry today, since a lot of people want to look over that. So let me just get this ready, and then once we're ready to go, we can get started. Whoops. Cool, let me just send out this link. That's weird. Why does that? 1 second, guys. Oh, of course, because I'm sending the wrong video out. All right, hold up. Let me, why is it pulling up the old link? I have to give it a few seconds for it to load up. Let's see, copy link. I think this is the right webinar. Hey, Jason, how's it going? Let's see. Jason said, hey, Shawn, Jason here. I'm new, not getting it all, but I will not give up. Yeah, no, definitely, Jason. So, we could go over any questions you have. If there's anything you're confused with specifically, we can take a look at it. Hey, Dejan, how's it going? Could you guys confirm that you guys could hear me? I'm using the new mic again, so I'm not sure if it's working completely yet. I think it is, but just to be sure. Let's see. Let me get this link out. How does it still do that? It shows the old thing on there. I'm trying to fix it. Let's see. Yeah, unless it just hasn't loaded yet. It probably just hasn't loaded. I need to reset this real quick. Hey, John, how's it going? Jason said, when the trades come in on the chat, not sure if they or to enter specific time. Yeah, Jason. So when I send out the alerts like I did, for any of these, let me go to one of the recent trades here. So like the trade from today, like this RJPY, there's usually a specific entry price right there. And then it has, the type of order. So like for this right here, price was below the entry. So I indicated to put a buy stop order. And that's so that when price actually shoots up from here, then it fills your order. You don't get in at that specific time, but we can look over that later. It seems like you're not familiar with the order types, but we can cover that a little later once we go through the charts, and then we can see how we can solve that issue. But it's something that this is a problem that a lot of people have. Like a lot of people don't understand the difference between a buy stop and a buy limit. Generally, if price is below, it's going to be a buy stop. If price is above it, it'll be a buy limit. But it's something that you'll learn with practice. It's not something that, it's something that people still commonly get confused with. Perfect. Hey, Josh, how's it going, man? I haven't heard from you in a while. All right, perfect. So it looks like the mic's all good to go. Let me just get this link sent out to the group. I don't know what's wrong with this link. I think I might be pulling up the wrong link. Let's Jason said, just want to know when to enter. So Jason, yeah, for that, for each trade that I send out, like even this one over here, like the GBP odd position, like price was above the order. So when you get this signal, you can just put in the specific order type, which is a sell stop, and then you put in the entry, and then the parameters depending on which target you want to hit and which stop loss you want to set. in place. So basically, when I send out a signal like this, then you just put in a self-stop order for that specific pair, and then you put in that entry point. So once you do that, you should be good to go. Like right here, price was above the entry. So as soon as it came down, if you had a self-stop there, it would have automatically filled it. And then you would have been good to go from there. So pretty much whenever I send out a signal, you can go ahead and put that into your platform, and then it'll signify which type of order. So a sell stop for this specific trade, for this specific trade would be a buy stop. If you're going to enter, like say an hour later or 30 minutes later, just ask in the chat to confirm, if it's still good or not, because normally when I send out this trade, you're supposed to be placing it like right away. But if, price hasn't moved too far away from, the entry point, or it's still above it, then it's fine to enter late. But you don't want to enter when price is like way in profit already, because in that situation, you get in at a bad entry point, and then your risk reward is not going to be equal. Jason said, what minute 15 signal in the group chat? I don't trade on the 15-minute, Jason, so I'm not sure where you saw that 15-minute entry. Like if you look at the charts, all of them have the time frame on it. They're always on the 4-hour. The only difference is the US 30 daily entry, which is always going to be on the 10-minute. But I never trade on the 15. I'm not sure where you saw that trade at. It must have been from a different group, or if you're just applying it on yourself with yourself. Some people do trade on the 15, but me personally, I don't trade on that time frame. So I'm not sure if there's some sort of confusion or if you saw that somewhere else. But yeah, guys, sorry. Let me just get this on the. I don't know why the link isn't working for this thing. Let's see. Okay. So this is obviously the link. Or maybe if I close Telegram and reopen it, it won't come up all weird. Nice. So look at our OJPY right here. It's about to hit TP2, 25 pips. So that'll be good shortly. Let me just post up this link. Not everyone's here yet. Yeah, I'm too lazy to type this up. It's going to copy what I put last time. All right, cool. So we send that out. All right, whatever. It's not going to come up proper. I'll just post it, and then people will still find it. So let's see, put that on there, and then I'm going to share this on the indices page, and then one last place. Let me just put it on the Facebook real quick, and then we should be good to go. Let's put this over here if you want to look at the news for this week. Get this on the Facebook real quick. And lastly on the Instagram. So let me just get that real quick. And I don't know why that it comes up with the wrong date. Like it obviously says 29th here, but for some reason it says the 24th on the link. That's fine. All right, post up that link there. All right, cool. Looks like we're good, guys. So yeah, so let's get started. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the chat on the YouTube, or if you guys are on the Zoom, you guys can put them in the Q&A. I don't think there's anyone on the Zoom, but let me check just in case. Yeah, so everyone here is on the YouTube, so which is perfectly fine. Just go ahead and put your questions in the chat, and then we can look over, pretty much anything you guys want to cover. Otherwise, I'm just going to go over each chart. I'll probably finish up the chart analysis from this week since I didn't finish it on Sunday. Sorry about that, guys. I had a ton of one-on-one mentoring sessions, so unfortunately, time got cut short. But I'm going to try to keep those in order next time. I'm going to try not to double book times, because I didn't realize it was going to take that long. I didn't know people were going to have so many questions. Normally on Sunday, it's pretty slow, so I don't usually have too much time running late. But this Sunday there was a ton of questions, which is perfectly fine. I like it when you guys have questions, because I want to help you guys out, obviously. But yeah, our two current positions right now are OJPY. We have a buy right here. We've made it to TP1. We're about to hit TP2 right here for 25 pips. As you can see right here, I'm using my personal Forex.com account. This is like my smaller account that I pretty much just take every single trade that I call and I let them run to full TP most of the time. And it doesn't matter. I mean, this is a small account. know, it's my real account right here, forex.com, Shawn. It only has about 4,000 here. So this is my play account. Basically, I just take trades on here. I let them run a full TP. But then I also have, you know, my other accounts like my FTMO and my other forex.com account, which is the bigger one. So also for our GA right here, we're about to hit TP2 right here at 50 pips. You can see we're pretty nice in profit. You know, even with a small account on forex.com with, you know, low leverage, I'm still able to make pretty decent profit. And I'm just going to let this run pretty much to full TP. I don't know if Forbes is in here, but we were just talking about this in the chat. So I was telling Forbes, he was asking about GA. I don't know if it was Forbes or someone else, but let's take a look. So someone was asking about GA earlier. And man, Arik is so funny. You guys in the premium have seen Arik. This dude's so hyped with all of his trades. He's been killing it. Look at this. His first scalp made T25. Super nice. But let me see where that question was about GA. Because a lot of people are freaking out about GA earlier. But I told them that it was going to reject off. And it might have been in the chat. So let's see. I was telling everyone that I was going to reject off the... yeah, so like right here. Oh no, it was Enzo. So I don't know if Enzo is in here, but yeah, Enzo asked me about GA. I know people are freaking out because it was like pulling back, right? And I told you guys it was gonna reject right off this the K2SR zone, and look what happened. It did exactly what I said. So it came up, rejected off the zone, came straight back down. So, you know, if you guys are taking my trades, just, you know, don't get too worried and don't freak out about the trades if they're not going your way temporarily, because that happens. You know, this is a perfect break and retest. So price broke below, retested, rejected off the K2SR, and here it goes coming down a full TP. So, you know, it's not something that you'll have right away when you start trading, but, you know, over the years and over a lot of practice, you're going to grow thick skin to not freak out about trades because they're going to play out. You know, all these trades that I call are real trades that I'm taking on my own account. You guys can see here, this is not a demo. You know, a lot of people trade on demo and act like, you know, they're really trading, but this is my real account. Like, even though it's a small account that I just take my, you know, my signals on, it's still real. It's a real account. My name's right here. There's no paper trade here. So, you know, you guys can trust that I'm calling legit trades because I have skin in the game. Like, I'm actually taking these trades with you guys. So don't be worried if you guys take any trades that I call. You know, I'm calling them for a reason, and I actually believe in these trades. So you can see here, GA's in profit, AJ's in profit as well. You know, it's light day today, plus our US 30 over here at full TP. I'll also be looking at this in a little bit as well. So 29. Yeah, so this is probably going to be the first thing I'm going to look over because a lot of people have been asking, you know, how do we keep killing it with US 30? And it's simple, guys. Like, I'll show you guys the strategy, exactly how I apply it. It's not very difficult. You know, you can have access to it if you want. You know, it's available to you. So let's just let's see if there's any questions right now. Let's see. Dejan said, facts. Just hit trading view notifications and let it run. Exactly. See, that's what I always tell people because, you know, the thing is, if you're staring at the chart all day, you're gonna get stressed out. Like, there's no way around it because you see the profit go up and down, and you're like, crap. You're like, you see it go into negative, and you just start to freak out, and you start sweating. You know, but if you just set and forget it, you just take the trade, you set notifications right here like TP2, that's when you'll know when to move your stop loss. So if you guys have your notifications set up, you don't have to watch the chart all day. Literally, I take the trade. When I get notifications, I give you guys updates. Like right here for our AJ trade. See, hit TP1. And I was not watching this at all. I literally went to the gym. So this is why you guys don't see me talk from like 10 a.m. to like 1 p.m. So like right here, everyone's having a good time talking, and I'm quiet from like 10. So this is like 10:30. This is where I was still on the charts, 10:30, and then I'm like silent until like 1 p.m. Because the thing is, I don't stare at the charts all day, guys. Like, you guys shouldn't do that either. I never recommend that. I take the trade, I set my alerts, and I go to the gym. I do whatever I need to do. And then I come back when I get the alerts that, okay, TP's hit, you know, good. So I send the update, and that's pretty much it. And that's something that I recommend a lot of you guys do because I see a lot of people stressing about the trades all the time. Like, I get a bunch of questions or everyone's like, what should I do? What should I do? And I'm like, nothing. Just don't do anything. Just wait for it to hit and just do it, like, go on with your day. Because the more that you stare at your charts, the more stressed out you're going to be. And the more stressed out you're going to be, the more the more you're going to lose your trades because you're going to keep getting out too early, or you're going to, you're going to hold on the trades for too long. But yeah, so let's go back to the questions. Josh said that's why it's smart to trade with small lots. Yeah, definitely, Josh. So I agree with Josh's statement too. So Josh says that it's smart to trade with small lots first because obviously you have to build your confidence. If you're not, I've been trading for like 10 years now, guys. So I don't, it doesn't hurt me if I lose a trade or if I win it. Like I'm not celebrating when I win a trade. I'm like, all right, I won the trade, on to the next. The same with a loss. If I take a loss, I'm like, all right, whatever. I took a loss, move on to the next one because I know, the way that we trade, we have a high win percentage. So we don't even lose that often. So there's nothing to really complain about. But when we do lose, I'm not like freaking out about it. I'm not all sad because I'm using proper risk management. Like this trade was like a 5% trade or 6% right here, I guess, because it changed. But, I know the risk when I go into a trade. So when we lose a trade, it's just a loss. It's like water under the bridge. But when you win a trade, I'm not celebrating either. It's kind of like, okay, we won a trade, on to the next one. Cause I'm not gonna say it's like you shouldn't celebrate your trades, but after you've done it for so long, you just care about winning. Like as long as you win, that's fine. It doesn't matter if it's like TP1, TP2, full TP. The real key in trading long term is to minimize your losses and eliminate your risk whenever possible. A lot of new traders, they want to focus on hitting full TPs all the time. But in reality, as long as you eliminate your losses or, minimize your risk as much as possible, at the end of the week, the end of the month, end of the year, you'll be in profit, and as long as you're in profit, you'll be happy. That's the main key. And that's pretty much, how I always advise people to, handle their trades and to, if they want to be a long-term trader, that's the best way to do it. Because if you stress yourself out too much, you're just going to keep losing trades. But yeah, so let's keep going over the questions. Let's see. G said, I got faith in K2 signals. I missed them out. Want to make a little profit. Yeah, no, for sure. G, like, you'll catch a couple of them every once in a while. Let's see. Wayne said, how to place pending orders with K2. So Wayne, I'm not sure which broker you're using, but if you're trading on TradingView, like, how I do, Forex.com, it's real simple. You just so if you wanted to enter right here, just right click, trade. And then if you want to buy, it's going to be a buy limit, obviously, because price is above the entry. Or if you want to enter a sell, it's going to be a sell stop. This is one way to do it. So if you click on that, it'll pop up the trade window right here. Another way to do it is just click on the buy sell right here. If you want to buy, you hit this. Or I'm not going to hit buy market, but obviously you have the option up here to buy market if you want to. Or if you want to set a pending order, you just hit trade, buy limit. You could set the price right here. Depending if price is above it, it's going to be a buy limit. If price is below it, it's going to be a buy stop. Vice versa, if you want to enter a sell, if price is above it, it's going to be a sell stop. If price is below it, it's going to be a sell limit. And if you want to enter market orders right there as well. So this is how you enter a trade on TradingView. If you're on MT4, it's a little different, but it's the same difference basically. That's the difference. There's only 3 different order types that you can put. It's going to be a market order, a limit order, or a stop order. And the rule of thumb is if price is above the entry. So if you wanted to enter buy like this position right here, if price is above the entry, it's going to be a buy limit. And it doesn't matter because look, even if you try to put a buy stop, it's like you can't really mess this up because if you try to put a buy stop, it's not going to let you. It's grayed out. There's only one type of order to put for this if you want to put a pending order for a buy. However, if price is below it, then it would be a buy stop. So say if I wanted to enter a trade up here, right? Hit trade. See, it's a buy stop now. The limit is well, this is still going to be here, but it's not going to fill the same way. So the thing is, if price is above the entry, once it goes up, it's going to fill if you have a buy stop. However, if it's a limit, price would have to come back down and trigger it. So these are the 2 different order types. But to make things simple, I don't know if I have the thing set up somewhere. Wayne said, "How you can't enter the trades with the indicators when the indicators are meant to show you where to enter. But you still have to enter it on your own. Like there's no automatic thing where you just set like I don't know if I think you're trying to I think you think it's like a automatic trader. It's not like that. So the indicators, you know, if you apply the strategy, you still have to enter the trade on your own. Like, I'm trying to figure out what you mean by the indicators, because you can't put pending orders with the indicators. The indicators are just, you know, stuff on the chart. Like if you have the indicator right here, or you have, you know, you have the buy sell signals. These are just indicators. They won't take the trade for you. You still have to put the trade in yourself. Let me see if Wayne could explain. If you go like more in detail, Wayne, I could go in farther. I'm just kind of confused with what you mean, because you said, so your first question was how to place pending orders with K2, and then you put, I meant using indicators. So I'm not sure if you're like trying to put the order through the indicator, or if you're I don't know, I'm kind of confused. I'm trying to figure out what you mean. Let me see. I'm gonna go through these other questions. Kenny said, are those red zones an indicator, or did you manually do it? So let me show you real quick. Let me show you real quick, Kenny. So this is how I draw my zone. So the way that I'll open another chart here so it's clean. Testing. All right, so we got a clean chart right here. And I'll just go back to OddJPY just so that it will be the same thing. 4 hour. All right, so basically this is what a naked chart looks like. You know, there's obviously nothing on the chart. This is my marked up chart right here. So this is how it looks like with these zones. And I'll show you how I put these zones up from scratch. So right here, this is a naked chart, right? Here's the zone chart. So what I do is I turn on the K2 SR indicator, this right here, and then it'll place all of the most important zones on the chart for you. So these zones are areas that have been tested, you know, 2 or 3 times in the past. And, you know, the more that they're tested, the stronger the zone is. So what I do here is I just pull up the rectangle tool right here, and then I draw my zones right over it so that it's not all messy, because you can see right here, it's kind of hard to look at the chart with all of this stuff going on. So, and if the zones overlap, like, you know, there's like way too many zones here, I just create one big zone. And the reason for these zones is that these are considered like rejection points. Because obviously, like I mentioned before, these zones are created when prices tested it in the past, like that specific price point. Like you can see right here, this exact price point has been tested maybe 2, 3, 4 times in the past. And that's why it created a zone right there. Same with down here. And also with right here, you can see the same exact price point, 7.645. It's been tested a bunch of times in the past. So the thing is, if you zoom out, you can see that this exact price was tested way back here in May of 2019. So let's keep going through. Here's the last zone down here. And then, so you can see prices way down here. If there's no zone below, these are the critical places that you want to look for, an upper zone and a lower zone, because obviously you want to know where to trade and where not to trade. So if there's no lower zone, I go to the higher time frame, the 8 hour, and there you go. The zone is right in front of you. So I just draw this zone down here and we're good to go. Go back to the 4 hour. And now that we have this lined up, I just hide the indicator. And there you go. You got some nice zones on the chart. And you can see that these are strong points. Like I think we took a sell right here, because you can see right here, this zone has been tested, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like it's been tested so many times. It was tested in July. It was tested in June. It was tested in so far, tested again in January. Like this is a strong zone right here. So obviously when price breaks the zone, you know, it's a nice, it could be prepping for a nice move down like it did right here. Similar to right here, it broke it again. Nice drop down, right? Again, right here. So it like literally history repeats itself every time. And see, if you have access to the K2 indicators, these are really strong tools to have. Like you don't have to apply the K2 strategies, but as long as you have these zones here, it's like a little cheat code for you. It tells you where to trade and where not to trade. Because obviously, you know, if price is coming up to the zone, you're not going to enter a buy right here. Same situation if price is coming down right here. Price is coming down. You're not going to enter sell because what happens? Price rejects right off the zone. And, you know, just looking at the chart from our bird's eye view, you can see that price always respects the zone. So price comes up, rejection, comes down, rejection, comes up, rejection, rejection. It literally bounces from zone to zone. And that's how we trade K2. That's why K2 has such a high win rate, because we literally trade within the zones. Like, we don't trade up here because it's too risky. You know, obviously you don't want to get stuck in this area of manipulation right here. So we just like take a trade and we ride it down to the next zone, to the next zone, to the next zone, to the next zone. And again, right here, we rode this down. And then again, right here, we're in for a buy because see, price broke the zone right here. And look what happened. We're trying to ride this up to here, because what's going to happen when price reaches the zone, it's either going to break through it and continue on up, or it's going to reject back down. And regardless, if it comes back down, we already hit TP2 right here for 25 pips. We got full TP right here for 50 pips. So it makes things so much easier. So, you know, a lot of people, like, it doesn't matter if you want to apply the K2 strategies, like you can if you want, because look, check this out. Here's like one cheat code for you, you know, the zones. You add in the momentum indicator, like boom, you're like, you got like the whole blueprint in front of you. Like right here, see, there's a momentum buy right here, right? So I waited for this to come up here and it closed right here, right? Here, let me go to the other chart. Okay, so we had a momentum right here. See the buy momentum. So I already knew that price was coming up right here. So once price broke the zone, it was just like I told you guys in the past, you know, when price breaks the zone, it usually continues to the next zone right here. So price broke the zone right here. That's where we took the buy. You can see where my entry is right here. I literally took that buy. I rode this up for 12 pips. Now we're going to hit 25 pips. And then after that, we're going to hit 50 pips. It's super easy. Like, a lot of people like to overcomplicate trading, but it's really simple, guys. Like right here, we had a sell signal. It broke the zone right here. What did it do from here? It went down to this zone. It broke the zone right here again. What did it do from there? It went down to this zone. It's like super simple. Like, you know, you guys shouldn't make it too complicated, because if you make it too complicated, you're going to miss out on these good trades. So, yeah, you know, that's how we draw the zones. And, you know, that's how I took this entry right here. So I'll give you guys an update once we hit TP, but otherwise I'm going to keep checking the list over here and see what else we got. All right. Geez, it's stressing just watching them go to profit and go to negative. Yeah, I agree, G. That's why I don't even bother looking at it. G said financial stability, a blessing. Soon with US 30 stop loss. For sure. Like, so I'll go over the US 30 entry right now. I'm gonna keep going down the questions real quick. But you know, we'll go over this entry that we took this morning, which was like amazing. It was crazy because I saw this huge drop right here, which dropped like about 1,000 pips. And I was like, crap, should I take this entry? And I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna take it. So I took it. And then we wrote it down to TP way down here. And then we got out before it shot right back up. So let's see what else we got here. Dejan said, he's not lying. Laugh my ass off. Greed kills for sure. I mean, I've been through that so many times. And I know a lot of people here have as well, you know. And that's why I don't really focus on the profits anymore. I focus on winning. Because if you win, you know, good for you. If you lose, pass on to the next one. But if you focus on the profits, you're going to keep getting greedy and you're going to want to go for more. Like, instead of, so like right here, you know, we have TP1, TP2, full TP. You know, I'm going to get out once we reach here. You know, some people will be greedy and they'll take off their stop loss, or they'll take off their TP and they'll try to ride it up. But if it rejects on you right here, you know, your trade could go straight into negative if it ends up rejecting, like it did right here. So, you know, there's a nice break and retest right here. Price came down, came up. You know, if someone wanted to take a buy right here because they're trying to like identify the bottom, you know, they would have been screwed if they wrote that down. So like for me, I always emphasize risk management. Like, risk management is always going to be the most important thing when you're trading. It doesn't matter what strategy you're applying, whether it's K2 or not, you know, risk management is going to be, you know, the key to success. And it's always going to be, because you don't want to get caught in the market's games. And you guys will see, you know, eventually once you guys trade long enough, you'll see it's more about, you know, conserving your capital and growing it, you know, instead of just skyrocketing it. Like, it's not a get rich scheme overnight, get rich quick scheme like a lot of people see it as. It's more of like a get rich long-term scheme. But all right, so let's keep going through this. Okay, so Wayne is asking, using the indicators, what would I look for possible pending orders? So Wayne, you know, it depends on which strategy you're applying. I think we talked about this previously. I think you started applying the scalping strategy, right? So if you could give me a strategy that you want me to look at, I can show you how to, identify entries. But I think you and Vince have access to the course, right? So if you go on the course, here's the K2 course. If you guys have access to it, we cover everything here. We cover everything from start to finish. The intro for trading, trading view tools and functions. Basically, all the tools that I apply are covered in here, and it's pretty much all the important ones. And then these are like the bare basics that you should know. Trend lines, point resistance, and then setting up alerts and stuff. So if you go down further, you'll see right here that this is the intraday strategy. This is the momentum strategy, scalping strategies, a demonstration of the indicators, the K2SR zone strategy. So this is the strategy that I use for all of the signals. So if you guys are wondering how I call every signal and you guys want to trade exactly how I do, like exactly to the T, it's this strategy right here. I use it for intraday. This is the only strategy that I use. Sometimes it lines up with the pivot strategy, but I go based off this. This is going to be an extra. So what I'll do is I'll look for this first. And then if I see this line up with it, then that'll be extra confirmation. I might over leverage on that or something. I don't recommend it, but if two strategies line up, odds are that thing's going to hit for sure. So this is the strategy I use for every single signal, the K2SR zone trading strategy. So if you guys have access to the course and you guys want to take all of these wins here on your own, literally, let's see where our results are. Our results. So results for the year. We've got, this is all of the Forex trades. We have 409 wins, 133 losses. So if you guys want to have this type of, growth and results, just apply the strategy. This is the only strategy that I apply on the 4-hour time frame. So, and then the K2 daily US 30, which I'm going to go over today. So Wayne, if you, depending on what strategy you want to apply, everything is broken down here. So if you go to, this strategy specifically, it'll have every requirement there. I would go over every strategy with you guys, but, we just don't have enough time for that. Maybe if we have time later, I'll go over each specific strategy and I'll try to be quick about it. But, everything's broken down here, Wayne. So if you and Vince want to look at it, I think Vince has already started looking at it. Everything's broken down. It has requirements. They're very specific. They're not subjective at all. If the requirements are met, there's an entry. If the requirements aren't met, there's no entry. So just depending on what you're looking for, they're all lined up here pretty much. But yeah, that's pretty much it for the strategies. So let's see what else we got here. G said, how do I use K2 on TradingView free? So G, I'm not sure if you have access to the K2 indicators. I mean, your name is G, so it's kind of common. I'm not sure if you're someone that signed up already to K2 Premium, but if you are, this is how you'll access the indicators. So you'll just go under indicators here. You'll go to invite only scripts, and then all of the K2 indicators will be available right here. So if you have access to the K2 strategies and you have full access to the indicators, there'll be a green lock right here. This means that it's unlocked for you. However, if you don't have access to the K2 indicators, it's going to be a red lock. So if you don't have access to it and you want access to it, so you can apply, all these techniques that I've just been going over, all you need to do is go on the website right here, k2trades.com. Very simple, just, K2 trades and then .com. And then we still have our trial going on. So here's the top. If you scroll down to the bottom, we have our trial right here. So normally it's 150 a month, but for the first month, you could get everything for 50 bucks. So I'm not sure if you have access to this already, but once you sign up to this, you'll have access to all of video courses. So you'll have access to all of this right here, literally everything. You'll have access to all of this here. You'll have access to all of the indicators, the momentum indicator, trend meter, SR indicator, and then you'll have access to all the premium groups. So if you have access to K2 Premium, you'll have access to the K2 Premium Signals channel. And this is where I put every single trade that I take. So every trade I take, I share with you guys. So when I win, you guys win. We all win here. And then you'll have the chat here. You'll see Dejan over here messing around all day. Let's see if Dejan's still here. So we got this right here, the chat. And then we also have the trade talk over here, which is, it's pretty much everyone just talking about trades and stuff. So you'll have access to all of that. It's only 50 bucks for the first month. If you're not happy, you can cancel at any time. There's no contract or anything, but you guys will still have access to the free groups, like the alert group and the free chat. Otherwise, you'll still have access to everything. But if you want to decide to continue it, which I'm sure you probably will, because once like one trade, you'll cover the monthly subscription easily. Like right now, look at the trades we have active. And these are small positions. So I have this active right here, and I have the AJ active right here as well. So, with those two, I'm already in profit 113. Another $50, like one more trade, you've covered your subscription for the entire month. And this provides you with, unlimited opportunities to make more profit. And if you guys are, if you guys saw my profits for US 30, literally you can get the strategy just to apply US 30. So this is, these are my profits for US 30 just for this week. Obviously I have the week tab clicked right here. I'm up like about 5,505. No losses, just trading US 30. And this is once a day or twice a day. So sometimes I take the London entry, sometimes I take the US entry. And it's real simple. So I'll go over the strategy right now after I go over, pretty much all of the questions. And then I can show you guys exactly how we entered this specific trade. So let me keep going down the questions. I'm going to see if I missed anything else. Wayne said, what to do when the red and green SR zones are fairly close when making a zone? Yeah, so I do connect them, Wayne. So I'll go back to this example over here. So right here, this is what I was talking about earlier. So say if these, sorry, this one right here. So you can see right here that all of these zones are pretty much, they're like way too close, right? So these right here, if these are super close to this one down here, I'll just connect these together like that. So I make a big zone. Because obviously you don't want to trade within the zone because see, check this out. If price comes up to the zone, what could happen here is price could shoot up or it could shoot down, or it could trick you right here and shoot down slightly and then shoot right back up. So like these are areas where price is highly manipulated because the market makers and institutions know that everyone's looking at these specific zones. Like for us, we have perfect zones because I use, we have an algorithm that counts all of this historical data, like way back in the past. Like check this out. See this zone right here? Like a normal person wouldn't be able to catch this zone right here. I mean, I can't catch the zone either, but I created this algorithm so that you can see this. Like, let me just hide everything off the chart. Check this out. This zone was identified like way back here, all the way to way back here. Because obviously you can't just zoom out of the chart and then, who's going to be able to spot that this was tested way back in January 2019. And then again in May 2019. Why would you like put it? This is so much work for you to like zoom out and look for these areas where it's been tested. Why don't you just let the computer do it for you? So once you have the indicator, you just turn that on and, there's the zone right there. Like even if it's been tested like years back, it's still going to show up. So it pretty much takes out all of the guesswork and you know exactly where the zones are. So again, right here, you can see these zones are really close. So what I would do here is I would just connect them like that. And then you take the indicator off the chart and there you go. You got some beautiful zones on the chart. Easy as that. But all right, so let me keep going down the questions. Let's see. So we got another one over here. G said little blueprints and secret formula pretty much in signals. Yeah, exactly, G. So, the thing is I've been trading for so long, and the thing is I've been trading alone for so long too. So I know a lot of people probably don't have this like same experience, but trading is pretty lonely if you're trading by yourself. And I figured I might as well share what I have with, the rest of you guys because, like there's enough profit to go around, guys. Like I'm not going to be greedy with this and just use it for myself. Literally all of us use the strategy and we all profit off it. And the thing with the currency market is that it's such a huge market that it's not like the stock market where you can push price like with, X amount of people. Like literally it's a $1 trillion market. So, you can't just push price by having like, 1,000 people take the same trade with you. This is getting moved by a ton of different factors. So, why not share the wealth with you guys? So that's why, I give you guys a blueprint and it's up to you guys whether you guys want to use it or not. And whether you guys want to use it or not, I'm going to keep using it. So if you guys want to keep looking at my, all of my signals and stuff, these are all from using the same strategy that everyone else is using. And we get all these scammers in here, dude. We delete this guy. But yeah, pretty much. So you know, I give you guys a blueprint that I use. You know, obviously it's, you guys don't have the code because this took me years to create, but you know, it's available to you guys if you guys want to trade like I do. You know, when I profit, we all profit. That's all that matters. So let's see what else we got here. We got, all right, Allison Medford said, I trade on MT4. I do not have the 10-minute time frame. What's the best time frame for you to trade when you post? Allison, so your time frame wouldn't really matter for if you're copying my trades, because you're just copying, you know, I give you the parameters already. Like everything is already given to you in the signal. Like, so this is the, I'm trying to look for the one from today. So this right here, this US 30 entry, even though it was called on the 10-minute, I give you all of the, you know, specific price points. So regardless as to which time frame you're trading on, it wouldn't make a difference because you're going to have the same price points. Like the price points aren't going to change unless you're applying the strategy yourself. And if you're applying it yourself, you're going to be on TradingView anyways, because you can't apply the strategy on MT4 because the K2 indicators are only available on TradingView. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, short answer to your question is you don't really need, you know, you don't need the specific 10-minute time frame if you're just copying my trades. If you're applying the strategy, then yeah, I do recommend you have the 10-minute. But even if you were applying the strategy, you would have to apply it on TradingView. It wouldn't be on MT4. But yeah, so yeah, if you want to copy it, time frame isn't a big issue. It's more so if you're just applying it on your own. But so when I go over the strategy later, I'll go over the US 30. I'll show you guys that it does work on different time frames. But you know, obviously it's recommended on the 10-minute. I've back tested this, I think 2-3 years back, and I found the best results trading on the 10-minute. You know, obviously you'll get more trades on the 5-minute because it's shorter time frame. You'll get less trades on the 15-minute, which are more accurate. But the 10 minutes, it's a great sweet spot for the daily entry. G said, that's why it's enough to pay itself. I just missed the signals. Yeah, exactly, G. So if you have the indicators, you can literally apply the strategies on your own, because you know a lot of people aren't able to be on the charts the same time as me or in the morning every day, because you know some people have normal jobs. So if you have the indicators, you can apply the strategies like all on your own. Like, let me show you guys here. So Arik, he's like pretty new to K2. He took his first scalp strategy today. His scalp entry, I mean. So yeah, so Arik right here, he sent this at 822. He took his own scalp entry. I didn't give him this trade. He took it on his own. He made 225 off that. And I'll show you guys the strategy that he applied as well. I think he applied the pivot strategy, which is super easy. That's what a lot of people have been using. Let me see if I can even search here. A lot of people have been using it. So I mean, there's a lot here. If you guys are in the premium, you guys can just search like whatever you're looking for, you know, pivot or any specific strategy, and you guys can see that a lot of people are profiting just, you know, applying the strategy on their own. But I'll go over that strategy a little later too. So let's see what else we got here. I just want to make sure I go over all the questions before I start going into the charts. So I don't want to skip any questions for you guys. Let's see. Gee, so the signals would pay them themselves. I just don't know when to take them. Yeah, no, for sure, G. Like, I'll show you right now when I show you the entry from today, that you can make a ton of money trading US 30. Like, this asset is my favorite asset. Like, I still trade Forex, but it's not like it's not my main focus anymore. Like, I still trade Forex because it's so easy. I trade on the 4-hour chart, so I literally just check the charts, like 4 or 5 times a day at my time, 6 a.m., 10 a.m., 3 p.m. once the market reopens, and then again at 6 p.m. and 10 p.m. So those are the only times I trade Forex. And then I trade US 30 in the morning, obviously. But US 30, one US 30 win could cover like a whole week of FX profits. So that's why I focus more on US 30, because we can make so much just trading this. And it's less stress, you know, it's once a day or twice a day if you trade London, and it's super easy. So let me go back here and I'll show you guys exactly what I mean. So I will rewind this to this specific time period. This is when we took the trade, and I'll show you guys on the chart, you know, exactly what I took. So I'll put the requirements up here. I'm gonna see if there's any more questions. It looks like we're done with the questions for now. So if you guys have any more questions, just put them in the chat, and then I'll come back and then I'll look over at the questions again once I'm done going over the strategy. So we have Dominic right here. Dominic said, that's what I do. I've been using the indicator for US 30 Asia daily entry. Oh, nice. So Dominic's been killing it. Dominic had 6 out of 7 full TPs since last Monday. That's crazy. It's really easy. I mean, if you guys like, this strategy works on all time sessions, but I personally just like to use it on I like using it on the US session and the London session because I like high volatility. Asia session is kind of too slow for me. It kind of reminds me of Forex, but I mean, Forex is in currencies, but you know, if you want to trade during Asia session, you guys can do that as well. So let's see. Anthony said, after canceling the trade for the swap spread, how do you get back to the trade by mark? Anthony, so depending on where let me see. So it's way too late, Anthony. I wouldn't get into these trades because OJPY, it already hit TP1. If it hits TP1 and you're not in the trade, then I would just cancel it because, you know, the odds are you're going to get in way too late. Your risk is going to be too high. So like right here, let's see. All right, cool. So like right here, this is like way deep in profit. And then also for the other position, our GA, it's deep in profit already. Like I don't recommend you entering a trade this like late into the trade. If it was at entry, then yeah, you can enter at market. But if the trade is so far in profit like it is right here, then I would just, you know, you missed the trade, unfortunately, and you could just wait for the next one because you know, I never recommend over leveraging or getting into a trade this late because the last thing you want to do is get into a trade late and then it goes the opposite way on you. So I don't recommend getting into this trade now. You know, just wait for the next one. There's going to be more trades to come anyways. All right, so let's go. G said Hugo's Way for US 30. So you could use Hugo's Way. I mean, depending on your account size, Hugo's Way, you know, we recommend at least 1,000 your accounts, you trade it. But if you want to trade with a smaller account, a lot of people use CoinEx or FX Choice. I haven't used any of those, so I can't confirm whether they're good or not. But I do use Hugo's Way for my personal trading, which is fine if you're only trading the daily entry. There's like specific times during the day where Hugo's Way just goes crazy, which is usually at night, my time, like 10 p.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. And I would just not recommend trading during that time because I almost blew my account one time trading during that time, like within that time period from 10 p.m. to midnight. Like, you know, the data just gets all crazy. The MT4 freezes and you're like, crap, you can't get out of your trade and you just start freaking out. So I don't recommend trading on Hugo's Way around that time. It's happened to me so many times where I just stopped trading during that time period. All right, so let's get to the strategy. This is the K² daily US 30 strategy. London, US. I'll just, you know, it works all sessions, so I'll just leave it at that. First, you're going to look for entries after. Sorry, let me see. All right, sorry guys, I was responding to a message. All right, so look for entries after 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, which is the New York Stock Exchange Open, and I'll explain why we do this, okay? So that's the first requirement. The second requirement is identify the first valid K2 signal, and then you can enter on the open of the following candle. And then lastly, you can set TP, stop loss TP, to 1,500 pips. All right, so I mean, that's the strategy, guys. It's really that simple. I mean, it's no rocket science. Literally, if these requirements are met, you have an entry. If they're not met, then you have no entry. So, okay, check this out. So right here, you're gonna look for entries after the New York Stock Exchange Open, which is 6:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time. That's Los Angeles time if you guys are going by cities. So, you know, I'm located in LA. So if you guys are in LA trading, it's going to be 6:30 a.m. If you guys are in New York on the East Coast, it's going to be Eastern time. That'll be 9:30 a.m. So for me specifically, it's going to be 6:30 a.m. I have it right here marked on the chart. And the reason why we look for trades after this is because this is when the market opens. So as soon as the market opens, this is where the volatility comes. So you can see right here, price came up, right? This is like this huge volatility in the market. This is like a little fake out right here. This is where people get screwed because they try to chase the movement. So like, check this out. If you don't have the signal right there, let's go back a little bit right here. See, if you guys are looking at the chart from this perspective without the K2 indicators, you know, what would a normal person do? A normal person would probably buy because they're going to chase they're going to chase it because they think it's in an uptrend. However, if you have the K2 indicators, you wouldn't fall for that trap because there's no buy signal there. You got a sell signal right here. So first requirement, look for entries after 6:30 a.m., which is right here. The second requirement, identify the first valid K2 signal. So the first valid K2 signal is right here. And this is valid because it's a red sell signal with a red bearish candle. So this is a valid sell signal right here. After that, you enter on the open of the following candle. So enter a short position right here. And then, like I mentioned right here, set your stop loss to 1500 pips. So these are measured in standard pips. So normally we measure it by micro pips because that's how FTMO values it. And the same with Hugo's Way. Like most brokers value it by micro pips. So even though it says 150 pips, that's because they're standard pips. But we're going to do 1500. I'll just put them here so you guys can see so there's no confusion. 1500 micro pips. And the reason they're measured in micro pips is because you guys are familiar with US 30. It moves super fast, like compared to Forex. And that's why they're measured in micro pips because you have to count like every like little move. So once you have this set up, you just let it run. And what do you know? Full TP. And this is exactly what I called earlier. So let me rewind this to this point. So here we go with this. I'll show you the chart that I sent out this morning. All right, so check it out. I told you guys to buy US 30 right here. Same price point, same everything. We entered the buyer. Oh no, sorry, this is the wrong one. Where was I? That was a wrong entry. Oh, sell. Sorry, guys. Okay, I don't know what I was looking at. But okay, so like right here, I said sell US 30 at that exact price. So see, 27502. 27502, nothing different, exactly the same. I even took a chart right here. Same thing, right? So, you know, everything here lines up together. You know, once we have that lined up, I gave you guys the entry. So once we took that entry, we let it run. Once it hit TP1 over here, I gave the update right here. The daily New York US 30 position hit TP1 for 750 pips. See right there where it hit TP? Hit TP right there too. It lines up perfectly. And then it went over there, hit full TP. What did I do here? Full TP, same exact thing. So if you guys want to apply the strategy, you guys have access to this. Like you guys can do exactly what I'm doing on your own time. And then, you know, I gave my updates too. So like, this is what I mean by I had skin in the game too. So I took the trade with you guys. Obviously I wasn't just giving out signals because I was in profit too. So I got stopped out at TP1 right there because I moved my stop loss in profit. And I was trying to be safe because I saw this push up right here. But then what happened here, I re-entered and I doubled my profit. So instead of 900, I got, what is that, 1800? Easy as that. And this is the same strategy that we use pretty much every day. Like this was the one for here. And then I don't think we called one yesterday, right? So let me see, when was the last one? Let's see. So last one was London on, I think it was Monday, right? So let me go back over there. I'll show you guys the same exact strategy that we applied. It was Monday. So Monday was the 27th. 24. Okay, cool. So same thing right here. So if you guys want to apply it during London, it works for London as well. Because I know, not everyone here is from the US. Some people are from London. I mean, from Europe, from wherever you guys are from, you guys can apply the strategy. So same situation here, but if you're applying it during London, you'll apply it at, because this is London Open. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, which is London Open. So I'm just going to show you guys an example of the same thing that I called for that one day as well. So let's see. Sorry guys, 1 second. I got to check something real quick. All right, so let's see. All right, so sorry, let me go back to the question. So John said, on TradingView, I have to enter 1,500 pips. I think you added an extra zero, John. I don't know if you meant 1,500, not 15,000. So I think the reason why you have that is because you're using a different chart. So right here, I mean, it doesn't matter which chart you use. I just use currency.com because it matches FTMO, but you're probably using Oanda. So if you go over here to US 30 Oanda, it's the same thing, but yeah. So here's the difference. So like, oh wait, where am I at? Go back to the entry for today. Oh, that's why it's on the 4-hour. All right, so the entry from today, I'm just going to show John, what I mean by that. So let's see, 6:30 a.m. It was this entry right here. So same entry that we were just talking about, but you can see the difference in price. So like I mentioned earlier, we measure it by micro pips. So Oanda measures it by micro pips. That's why it says 1,500 versus currency.com, which measures it by 150 because they're standard pips. So you just add a zero because micro versus standard, it's just one decimal over. So that's why on this broker it's 150, but the pricing is pretty much the same thing. It's literally the same thing on both charts. It's just one is measured by standard pips while the other is micro pips. So Wanda has micro pips right here, 1,500 pips, while currency.com has 150 pips. And that's the main difference. There's not really a huge difference. It's just the valuation of the lot size. All right, cool. So I think that's it for that question. Let me just go back to that London entry. Sorry, guys, I got kind of tied up with all this stuff going on. I got a bunch of messages coming in. So I'll go back to midnight over here. I'll just mark it for you guys so you guys can see on the chart. And I'll rewind this. All right, cool. So right here, same exact strategy, except instead of looking for entries at 6:30, you're going to look for entries at midnight because that's the London Open. So right here at midnight, I have it marked right here, right? Which is midnight right here on the 28th. And it's the same entry that we put right here. Marcus's chart looks a little different. Marcus usually calls the London entry. I don't think he's on here right now because he's I think he's located over there, so he's probably sleeping at this time. But yeah, pretty much right here, same exact thing. You look for entries after 12 a.m. Pacific Daylight Savings Time, which is London Open. Right here is 12 a.m. So after that, look for the first valid K2 signal. Right here's the first valid signal, which is a buy signal. It's a green buy signal with a green bullish candle inside. So once you have that, you do the same thing. Enter a long position right there. Enter on the open of the falling candle. Your stop loss TP is going to be a 1500 micro pips. So once you have that lined up, you let it run. And what do you know? Full TP. Easy as that. I mean, it's not difficult. And literally, you can do this once, twice a day. If you're doing UK, if you're doing London and the New York session, you know, if you do that twice a day, that's 1500 pips. So like 1500 pips times 2, which would be, you know, 3000 pips. And then if you're trading that on a standard lot, see, like obviously, if you're trading a standard lot, which, you know, is probably not feasible for most people. So that's just there for demonstrational purposes. If you're trading like a mini lot, that's 1500 right there. If you're trading the bare minimum 0.1, I mean a 0.01, you make 150 off that. So with those two trades, you make $300. Or if you're trading a mini lot, you'd make 3,000 with just 2 trades. And it's that simple. And that's why I have, like, check out my profits for the week. I'm trading mini lots, and this is what I have for the week. I literally just took 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or yeah, 5 trades, and these are during using the same strategy. And everyone does the same thing. Like if you check out, like I send the profits every day for like all the people. Like Tamara right here, she hit, you know, she's using it on a normal account. She's trading what was it, a micro lot. She still made like $200. Check this out, $300, $98. Who's this? It's Quentin right here. He got $1,000, and he applies the strategy on his own too. So everyone here is just pretty much, you know, either copying the trades or they're applying the strategy on their own. Like Ark over here, he took this trade right here. This buy was my call, and then he scalped again for another one. So he literally is like making money both ways. So yeah, I mean, that's it for the US 30 strategy. Let me see if there's anything else here. Man, every time I see RX gifts, they're so funny. This dude has the funniest gifts. But okay, so let's, I know I have a bunch of questions, guys. So if you guys are asking me questions in the premium, I'll get to you guys later because I'm still on the webinar. But yeah, for right now, I'm just going to go and look over. Let me see who's still here. Yeah, I'm going to go and mark up the charts. Or actually, let's see if there's any pivot entries here that I can just look over, because I know some people were asking about scalping entries. You know, I'm going to go in, I'm going to mark up all the charts first so that I can be prepared for the next 4-hour candle close, which is going to be within an hour. I just want to make sure everything is marked up so that I'm ready once we hit that candle close, so that I can call some more entries. So it looks like our OJPY is about to hit TP2 right here. You know, once it does, I'll give an update. Yeah, same with our GA over here. So check it out, guys. And with just these 2 trades today, you would have covered your monthly subscription to the K2 strategies. Like just these 2 trades, you know, about to be 150 in profit. And you guys can have like unlimited opportunity if you guys apply these on your own. So these both look good. I'm going to just scroll through and then make sure that, oh man, that's a nice entry here too. Buy entry. So this was an entry that I wanted to take this morning. Unfortunately, I didn't because this zone right here, like I mentioned before, these zones are risky because once they get to the zone, it could either break above it or it can reject and come back down. So that's why I didn't take this trade. You know, I probably should have. We would have been at halfway to full TP already, nearly to full TP. So let me see if this is an entry. Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, this is the K2SR zone strategy. So basically we have the momentum coming up. We see the break in zone right here. So this would have been a good buy entry. But again, right here, it's breaking the zone as well. So if it does that, we have another buy entry right there. So I'm going to mark this up with a flag just so I can look at it later. If this candle closes above it, then I'll call a buy. Go ride that up to the next zone. Real simple. I just want to make sure all my zones. So first, I'm going to go through the zones first, make sure everything is good. And the way I do that is I turn on the K2SR indicator and I make sure that everything has been covered in. So I'm gonna zoom through that really quick, just so that I can make sure everything looks good before I start analyzing anything. Because I don't want to analyze something and then we're like missing a zone or something there. JPY looks good. Looks good. Looks good. I think I covered pretty much everything with the zones over the weekend, aside from the ones below GA. So I'm gonna pay more attention to those down there. But I will continue to mark up any new zones. Like we have a zone right here, which I didn't mark up yet. Although it's kind of irrelevant because price is way down here, I'm still going to mark it up just in case. And then again, right here, we have no lower zone. So I'm going to go on the 8-hour. And there you go. We have that zone right there. Cool. So if this breaks below it, so let me turn on the momentum indicator. We have a sell momentum way up here. So if this breaks below it again, we can enter a sell, or we can even enter a last minute entry right here. So I did see this entry. The reason why I didn't call it was because it's so close to this zone down here. I generally like there to be at least like 20 pips of cushion so that we can enter the trade and we can get out with some profit before, you know, it might reject off it. Because the last thing you want to do is get into a trade super last, like at the bottom, and then it reverses on you. And the spread here is 3 pips. So you're gonna have to pay about 6 pips total to get in and out. And you know, if you do that, you're only going to be making like a little bit of profit. So it's just not worth the risk if there's not enough space there to take this trade. All right, CAD-JPY looks good. All the zones are covered. CHF-JPY, it's good too. So first, I'm gonna check the zones first, guys, and then once I'm done with the zones, then I'll go and look for any entries. All right, for your CAD over here, we don't have an upper zone. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on the higher time frame. And there we go. We have a zone right here. And we have a zone right there. Super simple. Here's CHF. Nothing there. Nothing there. Nothing there yet. Let's see. Delete this zone. Let's create a new one right here. So sometimes zones disappear. If they disappeared like it did down there, you know, just delete it and then create a new one to cover, you know, whatever area has been missing from there. This needs to be redone completely. Look at the zones are all like all over the place. So I'll delete that. And then just like I mentioned earlier, guys, it's super easy. Like you just open the K2SR indicator and then draw your zones right over it. All right, so we got this marked up right here. And then this big zone down here. All right, cool. So once we have that, like I mentioned, we take off the K2SRs and look how perfect that looks. You guys have every zone lined up right here. Look how perfect that is. You go back in data, look how many times it's tested. So we just created these zones right here, right? But look how many times it's tested in the past. Tested in April, tested in June, tested in March. The same exact zone up here that we have tested from way up here, it's been tested way back here in December. Like the same area where we're at currently, like this is where price is now. This was tested way back in September 2019. We're in September 2020. Like, when I say history repeats itself, it always does, literally. Look where price is right now, right here. And look where it was over here in March, in October 2019, in July. Like literally this is where price is right now. It's in the same zone where it was last year in June. So if you guys have access to this, like these zones, they're very strong areas for you to look out for. Because obviously if price gets to these zones, it's probably going to repeat what it did way back then. So let's see what happened here. When price came up from this point, it rejected and came right back down. So that might happen again right here. It just gives you ideas as to, what could happen next. I don't like to predict what happens next. I like to see what happens and make my move as price reacts to, these rejections. But, if you just want to look at the previous price where it rejected from way before, you can see what happens right here. The last time price tested this area, it shot right back down. And then again right here, shot right back down. Same situation right here. Tested it, shot right back down. So that's probably what's going to happen here. It's probably going to test it, shoot right back down. So we'll wait and see how that happens, because we are during an election year and there's a lot of bad stuff going on in the world with COVID and everything. So that might not happen again, because COVID wasn't happening this time in last year. Like September of last year, COVID wasn't happening. So obviously it might not happen again, but possibly it might. So we'll just see how that plays out. Let's see. Nassim said, does anyone here use Hugo's Way, and do they pay out big amounts, 20K plus? Nassim, personally, I wouldn't put 20K into Hugo's Way. I've never withdrawn that much. So I'd be careful. I mean, if you have that much money, I don't understand why people would be trading with an unregulated broker. You can just use a real broker, like a regulated one. Because the thing with unregulated brokers is that they can do whatever they want. Like they're not regulated by, like a world country like the US, where they'll have to like abide by laws. Like they can literally take your money and disappear and have no one to answer to. So if you have that much money, 20K, you should probably use a real broker. But I mean, if you want to try to use them, I mean, by all means you can. But okay, so let's see what else we got here. So I'm at GJ. I'm gonna keep going down the list. I think this is where we left off, guys. So I left off on GJ. I didn't mark up the ones following after that. So let's see GN right here. Looks like everything is, I mean, for the most part, it looks good except for this one. So let's move this. Let's connect it. These two right here. That looks good. GU, I'm going to delete this one. Actually, I delete this one too. Let's see. So everything here is good. Looks like everything's marked up. NZD CAD. Damn, this one looks messy. It's loading. All right, that looks good. NZD CHF. Let me delete this one. I'm just gonna start from scratch. This one looks too messy. Let's see. There we go, guys. TP1 for TP2 for OddJPY. That's good to go. I'm gonna post that update right now. Let me just finish these zones right here. So that's what I mean about not watching the charts. Like, we have that active OddJPY, but I'm not just staring at it all day. I literally just let it do what it's supposed to do, and then I go and trade everything else. So let's go to OddJPY. Nice. Looks like it's about to hit full TP soon. So let me give you guys an update. 5. Let's share that with all you guys. Good. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So that's good. Let me go back to where I was. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. Oh, here we go. GA is about to hit TP2 right here. Oh, there we go, guys. GA TP2 for 50 pips. Let's go. So we got that right there. I'm going to send you guys an update for this as well. So you guys check this out. If you guys took those 2 trades, I'm already in profit 181. You would have covered your subscription for the month already. And your opportunities would be unlimited at that point. So let me just post this result for JPY. Oh, no, sorry, it's not JPY. This is a GBP odd. This is TP2, I believe. Share that with you guys. All right, nice. So those both look good. I'm gonna leave it alone. Let them, do what they're supposed to do. Hit full TP for me. So if I hit full TP on this, it's gonna be 116 profit on that one. For GA, full TP over here, it's going to be 214, or no, 215. So yeah, pretty much. If I hit full TP on both of these, that's gonna be about 300, 400 profit, easy. Johnson, Shawn, thanks for sending that notification because I completely forgot. Nice. Yeah. I mean, it's probably best that you forgot because you would have exited that too early. So I'm not going to move my stop loss. I'll probably just leave it there and let it, play out. And I'll just keep checking on it while we're here. Like I mentioned, this is like my fun money account. I just take the trades and I just let them run. This isn't my main account, so I'm not too worried about it. And it's only like 4,000 or 5,000 in this account. So if I lose it, I lose it. If I grow it, then I grow it. Odds are it's probably going to grow because our win rate's so high. But yeah, let me go back. Nassim said, any thoughts on US 30? It's still going up because it just pulled back on the 4th, retested the previous resistance. Yeah, Nassim. So I'll check that out right now. Give me a second. I'm just going to make sure that all of the zones are good to go so that once it hits 6 o'clock, I'll be able to pull up any entries. So let's see. I think I left off on NZD-CHF. So that's marked up nice. NZD-JPY, that looks like it's marked up nice. NU marked up nice. UCAD looks good. Let me redo USD-CHF over here. Not yet, Dijon. So I haven't looked at any trades really. I'm just doing the zones right now because I didn't finish them last Sunday. So I'm just finishing up the zones, and then I'll start looking at the pair shortly. So I'll look at US 30 right after this for Nassim, and then I'll look over Euro NZD for you, Dijon. Every time I see your name, the FIFA Slav, it's funny, bro. Like, how'd you think of that name? I would have never thought that was you unless you told me. All right, so this looks good. All right, these marked up right here. And then we don't have no upper zone here, so I'm gonna go on the 8-hour. And what do you know? It's right above it. All right, so we're good with that. Everything is marked up, looks nice. All right, cool. So let's go to US 30 real quick. I'm just gonna analyze it for Nassim real quick. Let's see what we got here. So I'll analyze it on the 1-hour. There's just too much noise on the 10-minute. Shawn wanted to be a FIFA YouTuber before trading. There's a lot of gaming YouTubers out there. You know what's crazy though? The gaming YouTubers get a ton of views, and I would think they would get paid a lot of money for monetization, but they really don't. Because I was watching like a couple of them, they were going over like how much they make, And I guess because, you know, their viewers aren't like the type of viewers that really are worth a lot, you know, kids and stuff. So they don't really make that much, which is surprising. So maybe it was good that you went into trading. Let's see. Nassim said bet. Also, did you realize that GN has a normal amount of pips, way more than GU? Oh yeah, for sure. Nassim. So all of the pairs that are crossed with NZD and AUD usually have like, they move way crazier than the major pairs because it's such a huge discrepancy between between the two currencies. So like if you look at GU, like look at the split. It's only a 28-cent difference, right? That like between the US dollar and the GBP. If you look at GN, it's like it's like another whole dollar. It's 94, 95 cents around there. So that's why you see a huge pip movement. Like one candle here is gonna, like this move right here is gonna be like 50 pips. And then you're looking at GU and this is only like 15 pips. But the thing is, GU is a cheaper pair because you're trading the pound for NCD. So you're, even though there's more pips, you're gonna make less money off that trade versus you trading, you know, a major pair like GU, EU, EJ, like those, you know, along the lines. Because look, check this out. So your NZD, so it's $1 to $1.77. So it's a 77-cent difference versus like EJ, where it's only a 24-cent difference, versus EU, which is only a 17-cent difference. And that's why like the pip movement is way different, because the currency's worth are so, they're not very similar, but I mean they're closer than it is with EN. Like here, 17-cent difference versus a 77 or 78-cent difference. It's a big difference. That's why you'll see the pairs that are crossed with NZD and the pairs that are crossed with AUD. Those are going to be moving way faster than the other pairs, like you know, EuroCAD, or no, EuroCAD's kind of different too. But like the major pairs like GU, EU, AU, stuff like that, you know, because there's only like a 20-cent difference versus like the whole dollar difference when you're trading the NZD and AUD pairs. All right, cool. So let's go to Euro USD. I thought I got a notification here. Let me see. It's just from our pairs that we just had. So yeah, looking at US 30. Let's go on the 1 hour real quick. I'm gonna pull up the SRs. So let me draw these up real quick. Just gonna draw a big zone right there. I'm just gonna draw big zones because it's just there's just a lot of space. And US 30 moves so fast that I could probably pass these zones anyways. So I got my zones lined up right here. All right, so there we go. We got the zones lined up right here for US 30. Let me see what your question was, it seems. So any thoughts to US 30? Is it still going up because it pulled back? So I don't know if it'll continue up. Let me just go back over here. Let me so let's look at the trend. So right here we have the zones, right? So price broke the zone. I think if price closes below the zone, it might continue dropping and come down further. However, if price comes up and it doesn't close within it, so like right here, you see price came below it and then it came up and then it shot right back up. So if it's within this zone right here, like if it's gets stuck within the zone, it's probably just going to keep, you know, bouncing around until it finally, you know, either breaks below it and continues down, or breaks above it and continues up. So it just really depends on what happens when it breaks this area. But so on top of this, once we have this lined up, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to determine where the trend is, because obviously I like to trade in the direction of the trend. So we'll turn on the pivots. It's so like, check this out. See, this wasn't an uptrend over here, but it was like overextended already. So it came up above here and then it just got tired and it came back down. So here's where the problem exists. So if price breaks below this pivot right here, odds are it's going to switch into a downtrend, because look, check this out. So over here, you can see it was in a nice uptrend over here. So price came up from down here, went all the way up here, came down to test this pivot. Like I mentioned right here, see if price closes below the pivot, odds are it's gonna shift the trend downwards. Right here, price tested the pivot, but it rejected. So what happened when it rejected? Shot right back up. But look right here when it broke the pivot. So right here, it did the same thing, but it actually broke below it. What happened from here? It came all the way down. So that's what I'm talking about, like right here. Like it's getting close to this pivot right here. So, I mean, what could happen right here is it could either reject off it and shoot right back up like it did over here, or it can break below it and just keep coming down like it did over here. So, it's a double-edged sword right here. Like this is something that I probably wouldn't trade right now because there's so much uncertainty. But I mean, if you're in it, you're in it. So there's not really much that we could. Oh man, my bad, guys. Thanks, Dominic. I was on the old chart. Nobody said anything. I was working off that old chart. But okay, so here we are right now. Let me All right, sorry guys. So this is where we're at right now. So exactly like what I was saying earlier, if it gets stuck within the zone, it's going to keep ranging within the zone until it breaks out of it. So it is coming up right now. So I could see why, you guys were in that buy. So if you're in that buy right now, it actually looks pretty decent. It actually looks really good because look what happened here. So let me turn on the momentum indicator. Oh, for sure. This is a good buy. Well, okay, this is going to be there's an issue right here because it's getting close to the zone. So even though if we do get a buy signal right there, what could happen here is it could probably reject right off it. However, if it's strong enough, it'll push right through it. So this is actually an entry it's a pivot entry if we get a buy signal above it. So I think you guys saw like a few seconds ago, there was a buy signal that was active. However, it's not going to be confirmed until this candle closes. And this candle still has 45 minutes left. Okay, so right there. So if this closes right here, this would be considered a K2 pivots entry. So if this, if this ends up closing right here, I could anticipate it to come up right here. It's probably going to test this zone and it'll either reject right off it or it'll keep shooting up in this direction. And I think it's going to keep shooting up in this direction because of all the information that came out. So they had, I forgot, it was like COVID information that came out that I think Wade shared earlier. But anyways, there was good COVID news. So if there's good COVID news, it's like it looks good for the stock market, for like everything in general. So that's why it shot up right here. So this morning, it was coming down, and the COVID vaccines and news and stuff were like right here at like 9 o'clock, and then right when that happened, it shot right up. So as long as the news stays good and there's nothing else that comes up where it's like, oh, just kidding, the news isn't good, then it could probably keep coming up. However, if the news ends up being bad, or there was some type of mistake, it could just tank the market. So I mean, we'll have to wait and see. Let me check the news right here. So we got some China news in about an hour, or like in like 45 minutes, but let me see if there's anything else. Oh crap! So look, so what's going on today? I think the presidential debates today, right? So that's probably gonna affect US 30. So I'd be careful. I don't know what time does it come on though. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the presidential election that's going on this year, but the debate's it's gonna affect the market for sure because Trump's gonna be saying some stuff and Biden's gonna be saying some stuff, and it's just people are basically gonna be betting in the market. They're gonna be like, all right, we're going to shoot price up and we're going to shoot price down, and it's going to keep bouncing around. So I'd be careful. Nassim, if you're still in this trade, it does look like a good buy. So let's check this out. If we get this buy signal right here, this is what I mean. So price came down, and then, so this might have been like a little manipulation push right here. They're trying to trick people. This is how the market works. They always try to trick people. They make people think that there's going to be a shift in trend. However, it came right back up because of the COVID news. So it looks like it was coming down until 8 a.m. and then the COVID news hit right here at 9, and that's why it shot back up. So okay, yes, and it seems that it's at 6 p.m. So yeah, I mean, be ready for a ride because that's like in like 40 minutes. So, this is probably gonna. I don't know if it'll spike around like crazy because they're probably not going to say too many things that are going to affect the market, but it just depends on how people react to what they say. Some people react crazy and they put in like a bunch of orders. However, some people just might chill and it just might go sideways for that point in time, and then maybe when they're done all the speculators come into the market and then they spike price up or down. It just really depends. It depends on who does better on the debate too. So if Biden does better, you could probably see the stock market come down. If Trump does better, you could probably see the stock market go up. It's really a speculation game. There's nothing that you can really predict that will happen next. But all that aside, like no news, no nothing. What I see happening here is if this closes, then I see it shooting up. And I probably see a break in this right here and continuing upwards because that COVID news is pretty good. I forgot what Wade said earlier, but it was some good news. So let me go back to the chat right here. Nassim said, so the red pivot line is the main one. So these pivot lines, Nassim, they're like levels. So the green is going to be the first level. It's going to be a weak pivot level. So you can see your price comes over to it. It broke right through it, but once it got to the yellow, it rejected right off it. And then right here, as it breaks below these, it gets to the farther pivot. So the farther it goes, the weaker the trend gets. So right here, obviously this move was due to the COVID news, but if the news didn't happen, this probably would have continued down to here, and then it probably would have kept dropping. But the world is so unpredictable right now that a lot of things can affect the market. So with this right here, if nothing affects the market, then I see it continuing up. It just really depends on how this plays out. Let's see. It seems that thank God I got an approval from you, Shawn, because that was going crazy being in a buy, but everyone's buying US 30 in gold. But yeah, no, it does look good. So, my bad earlier because we were like way back here. I think when I was looking at it, it was like right here. I was like confused because I was like, I swear I thought US 30 was going up. But thanks Dominic for telling me that I was on the wrong candle. But just looking at it right here, I think this would be a smooth K2 pivots entry if we do get that buy signal that closes. Nassim said, I'm in Wade's inside group. He said taxes, China stimulus, Fed will affect Dow. Yeah, so I think the Democrats did release like some stimulus data. They wanted to give everyone like 1,200. So obviously that's gonna stimulate the market and push it up. Taxes, China, obviously the trade war is still going on. The whole TikTok thing. I don't know if that was figured out yet, but that was also affecting the market. And then lastly, the Fed. So the stimulus and the Fed go hand in hand. So if they're going to be giving some stimulus out, you could see the market going up. Plus with the COVID news, if it's good, they go hand in hand. So they both will just skyrocket the market up. However, I don't know what's going to happen with the debate. We'll have to wait and see how the market reacts to it. Let's see. Nassim said, okay, because I use pivots in general, but I was confused on the K2 pivot. Oh yeah, no, definitely, yeah. So the pivots are levels. So basically, if price is above the pivot, like just like a general, take everything off. So generally, when price is above the pivots, it's just trending up. But once it breaks below it, like it did right here, then it starts trending down, and then it just keeps trying to fight the pivots as it keeps coming down. And the pivots are they're dynamic. So if you're using normal pivots, that they're just going to be set in specific places, but these pivots move with price. So price comes up, it's trending up slightly, comes down, trends downwards, and it just keeps going back and forth. So like right here, price attempted to break below, but then like I mentioned, the news was good, so it shot up. And then if it breaks, so this is the key, it seems. So if price breaks above here, then I think it's for sure going to keep shooting up. But that's just how I trade. I like to have the extra confirmation. A lot of people like to get in like right at the bottom, but for me, I'm more about like accuracy, and I want to have like very quality trades. Because obviously, if I'm sharing these trades with you guys, like obviously I have like a stake in it that where I want it to win. So obviously, you know, I would wait for it to close above here, even though I get in late. It gives me that peace of mind that I actually waited for the trade and I was patient with it. But if you're in it right now, I think you're fine. You just have to wait for it to shoot up. Let's see how many pips is it from here. Yeah, like 900 pips. Yeah, and this is all on it too. So you should be good. I would just give it some time and then, you know, just wait for it to see how it plays out. All right, cool. So let's see. All right, guys, actually, give me 1 second. Let me get some water. Be right back. All right, guys, I'm back. So let's see. All right, cool. And Nassim said, look at it on the 4-hour because it looks like a clear swing break and retest. And a weekly to retest like crazy. So that's why everyone's in the trade. Like, all right, cool. So let's pull it up on the 4-hour. Actually, I like looking at it on the 4-hour. The only reason why I don't look at it on the 4-hour is because it's just unrealistic for me personally to take, because it's just like a huge move. You know what I mean? Like I love trading on the 4-hour, but for US 30, this moves like 10 to 100 times faster than Forex. So like one 4-hour candle right here is like, geez, like check that out. It's like 2,000 pips. Like I can't. I mean, I could risk that much, but I wouldn't want to be risking that much for a trade like this because it just moves too crazy. But anyways, you know, 4 hours is my favorite time frame. But let me just mark this up real quick. Personally, if I had the capital to like mess around with the 4-hour, of course I would, but it's just too risky for me personally. Someday when I have thick skin for US 30, I can do this with Forex, but with US 30, it's so unpredictable, especially with how the market's been moving. I just stick to the daily, not the daily candle, but the daily entry. All right, so whenever a zone is like out on its own, like right here, instead of drawing like a bigger zone, what I do is I just draw a horizontal line right here, just so that I know where that zone is. So I'll take off the SRs, zoom out from here. There you go. We got the zones plotted all around. So yeah, on the 4-hour right here, I don't necessarily see the let's see. Nassim said everyone's swinged out to somewhere around there. Oh, so everyone's trying to reach that to 29. That's high. Let's see. Okay, I can see where the break and like you guys are probably looking at this area right here for the break and retest, because I could see this being a zone too, because you can see the wicks right here. It just wasn't picked up by the SR. So like I mentioned before, you know, the SR, it detects like this data that it pulls from these zones are super accurate. Like they go back like way over here, like so far back. So that's why I trust the SRs. But I could see how someone could identify these as rejection points. Like there's no right or wrong way to do it because everyone sees things differently. However, I like to go by the computer where they actually, there's actual data where it goes back and it can detect that, this specific zone right here has been tested, X amount of times in the past. So this is where I have my zone, but I could see how someone else could see this right here being a zone as well. Because you can see that it tested, 1, 2, maybe 3 right there. But let's see. Yeah, I mean, they kind of line up. So see, the thing with the SR is that it detects zones where price was exactly at. So price had to test this specific price point, like exactly, like at the same cent percentage, like literally 2.2746, 2.7. This was exact or whatever down here. This was tested so many times in the past that it created a zone. However, if this is a new zone right here, this could be the next strong zone, like, years later, months later. But I can see what you mean. So like price came up. I'll just draw it on here so it's easier for all of us to see. So yeah, basically, price came up, came down, tested, and then that's where you guys saw that, break and retest. So I could see that. However, there's a lot of things in the market that affect US 30. So I don't think US 30 really, I mean, it does respect the zones, but not as much as something that's moving a little smoother. But let's see. So Nassim said that swing to 2960. That's a big move. So let's see. So we got this at 29. 29060. Damn, that's a big move, bro. You guys are trying to catch that. I mean, it could happen, but I think that's a huge move. Let's see how many pips is that. Jeez, 15,000 pips. You guys are trying to hit that. I mean, it could happen, but I don't know. Something crazy has got to happen for it to shoot that high. It's a pretty big move. Not saying that it won't happen, but I mean, me personally, I like to get in and out of trades. I don't like risking this much. This is a huge risk because I'm not a swing trader. But yeah, if you guys are swing traders, you guys can have thick skin for this. But yeah, that's a big move. So if we were to move this from right here, so because you said you were in a buy, so if we were to ride, if you were to ride that, geez, yeah, it's like 14,000 pips right there. Put your stop loss at the swing right here. I mean, that would be nice though if it does hit. Maybe I should throw in like a little penny lot, let that thing run for the next. How long did it take for this to move last time? So let's see, it moved from right here to down here. It took like 5 days, but this is when like the market was like selling off like crazy. Like the thing with this, I don't think people are gonna buy to push price up like heavily like that. Cause I mean, I don't know. So the COVID news was good, but you guys got to keep in mind that the election is still going on. So it's kind of they go back and forth. So if the election news causes it to drop, then it's gonna go flat for like, the next couple, we're in October almost, September 29th. So October's next month. We have like about 2 months to election. So yeah, once we get that right there, probably go sideways and then shoot up like crazy. So I mean, we'll see how that plays out. It's a good trade though, if it does play out. I mean, me personally, I wouldn't take it because I'm a swing trade, but if you're in it, I mean, it could be good. Let's see. Oh, you're using currency.com data. Yeah, normally I use currency.com, but I was just going on this for when I was talking to John earlier when I was discussing the micro pips. Let me see if I can switch it over. I can just mark this up real quick. It doesn't take that long. I mean, honestly, I don't really have to mark this up because we're so far from these areas that it's not going to test it for a while, but it's just good housekeeping so that we know exactly where the zones are. All right, cool. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. No, you're super on point with this one, it seems. So you actually caught this right on the dot. So like right here, I see that break and retest. You're 100% on that. So yeah, price broke, retested right here. It actually caught. That's weird that it caught it on here, but it didn't catch it on Oanda. Maybe that's why I stopped using Oanda. The data there wasn't as on point. But I do see that break. Man, you make me want to hop in on this trade with you, Nisi, because it looks like it could be a good one. So let's see if that buy signal appeared. Oh, so the buy actually started way down here. So technically, I might even just take this entry with you guys on. Because check this out. So right here, we have it lines up with the same entry. So technically, this would be a break. It would be a K2SR entry right here. So like this would still be a full entry of what was currently moving. I'm gonna take a penny entry and I'm gonna take your word for it. Let's see. Let me do this on my MT4, my personal account. Let's I'm just gonna pray it plays out. Yeah, no, it's super clear. All right, I'm gonna just do a penny. You go to my personal account. I'm gonna put a little penny entry on this one. Not a penny entry, but obviously a 0.01. I do on my FTMO, but I'm not trying to risk that. It's too risky. So there we go. All right, man. Let's see how this plays out. See, I'm gonna try to trade like a swing trader. Let's see how swing traders trade. Put their stop loss like right here. And I'll put a little lower. Wait, how many pips is that? That's not too bad, I guess. Actually, it's kind of bad. It's like 3,000 pips. So let's make it a little tighter, somewhere around there. 27. I'm just gonna do 27,300. Screw it. 27,300. And look, check this out. I'm not even gonna put a TP. I'm just gonna let it run. And then I'm gonna just gonna pray. I'm gonna let it run and pray for it. I got 27,300. All right, cool. So we good. I'm gonna check on that in a couple of CRS. Swing trading is stressful. It is. That's why I don't do it. But Nassim got me. He got me hyped on this one because he kept talking about it like it was gonna go to the moon. So it just might. I mean, we'll check it out. I don't care. I mean, if it drops down, that's like $300 for me. It's just a 0.01. But if it shoots up, then it's a whole different story. So we'll let that run, and then oh man, Dejan's scaring me because me and Dejan always talk about these crazy trades. All right, so I'm gonna stop thinking about it, and I'm just gonna let it be. And then let's see what else we got here. So yeah, and it seems I've been holding it for 2 days, ready since market open on Sunday, but I'm holding it, hopefully get partial profit. So Nassim's been holding it since Sunday, which was, wow, you've been holding for a long time. So you've been holding it for way down here, huh? So you made about, give or take, you're probably at about, actually, it hasn't been a huge move, but it's been a decent move, like 2,000 pips. I'm assuming, or 2,500 pips. So that's a pretty good profit, because if you're even trading a smaller lot size, like a 0.01 on Hugo's way, that's like $250. It's basically a risk-free trade for you at this point because it's so far up. But yeah, I'm gonna ride this with you guys. Hopefully it plays out. We'll see. Let's see. Sierra said, yeah. So it's NFP week. Yeah, that's why the market's been kind of weird. It's either been really good or whatever. Like it's literally been like Sunday was super slow. We didn't even take any trades. I don't even know if I think we took like one trade on Monday, which hit full TP, which was good. But I was expecting more trades because NFP could go like one way or the other. It could either be crazy volatile, it could be crazy slow. So it was crazy slow in the beginning. Now it's trying to pick up. And I don't know what's going to happen on Thursday because generally Thursday is going to be the crazy day where, we really don't know what's going to happen at that point. But we'll give it. Well, I mean, we'll keep playing with it and see what happens. But today was great. We hit TP right here for GA, and we hit TP for AJ, and then it looks like it's about to hit full TP, or it's on its way there. So we'll let that run, and then we'll keep looking at what we're looking at. So let's see. We got another one. Seems to see what you mean. Breaking retest so clear on currency.com. Yeah, definitely good trade. I mean, it's got to be a good trade because I'm in it now. I got skin in the game. Let's see, we got. Yeah, John, did you enter that buy too? I mean, we'll see how it plays out if we're all in this. John's gonna make all my money at NFP. Oh man, I hope you do, because everyone else is like, it could like NFP could either be a really good day for someone or a horrible day. There's no in between because literally price will shoot up in one direction or the other, and if you're on the right side, then perfect. If not, man, you're gonna have to open a new account. Let's see. Oh no, we're gonna get to that, Dijon. We've been on US 30 this whole time, but I'll go over EN right now too. Sierra said penny lots are awesome for swing trading though. Yeah, I agree. Like when I see people take like big lot sizes on swing trading, I'm like, damn, your account must be huge because like I don't know how you could handle that margin. Like if you go to drawdown, that's like it's a huge risk. Me personally, I wouldn't risk it. Yeah, and it seemed FTMO has US 30. It's a lot of us traded it. So like these were my profits from today. Let's see. These were my profits from this week actually. So from this week, I'm like up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We had like 5 wins for US 30. But on FTMO, it's called WS 30. So the symbol's different, but it's the same exact thing. And then it's measured at in micro lots. So this right here says 15 lots, which looks like a lot, but technically it's just a 1.5. It's not it's 15 for micro lots, but for a standard lot, it'd be 1.5 for like Hugo's Way or something like that. So yeah, that's what's on that one. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, and it's we're in it together, man. So like we're just gonna have to let it run, and then we'll check back on the next webinar on Thursday. We could regroup on this and see what happens. I'm just gonna let it run. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'll let it be. I already got my stop loss place, so I'm not really tripping. I already know what my risk is. So if it comes down, then it comes down. If it doesn't, it doesn't. There's really no reason to stress over it at all. 27.3. All right, so I got that right there, and I'll just let that run. If not, I'm gonna blame Wade. So I'm just joking. I'm not gonna blame Wade. But all right, so let's go over to EN now for Dijon. So let's check out EN. It's 540. So I'm gonna try to look over EN really quick, and if not, I'll just look over. We have some time because I'm gonna look for some entries at the 6 p.m. candle close, which is the 4-hour candle close in 18 minutes. But we have time until then. It doesn't take me that long to just scan through the charts. So yeah, Dijon, so checking out EN right here. I got all the zones lined up right here. We do have a buy momentum signal right there. So I'm just gonna keep in mind that we have a buy bias, but I'm gonna take this off the chart so it's cleaner and easier to see. So right here, you can see that price respects these zones like almost perfectly. Price comes up, rejects off this zone, comes down, rejects off here, comes up, rejects, comes down, rejects, and then comes all the way up. And it just keeps bouncing off these zones back and forth. So right here, we have a buy momentum candle. Like I'll just turn it back on for you guys real quick. Right here. So technically we would be looking for some buys, but you can see that price is like stuck within these zones right here. So in order for us to take a buy, we'd have to wait for that price to close above this area right here. So once it closes above this area, then we could probably ride this up to this zone for about 50 pips or so. However, it looks like it's just going to be ranging within these two zones like it has been. So let's check this out. Came down, came up, rejected off that point, rejected off this point. And it's literally just going from zone to zone until it breaks past it. So it's coming back down right here. It's probably going to come back, test this zone. And then it could either break below and continue down. And then if it breaks below here, then yeah, that'd be great. Sell right there. However, if it breaks above here, it'll probably test this zone. And then it tests this zone. And then continue up here. There's just too many zones right now, Shawn. So I personally wouldn't take this because, I mean, the last thing you want to do is get caught in a trade and then it bounces off like wherever you were anticipating it to go. So like right here, if you took this buy and you didn't wait for it to, you know, close above here, this thing pulled back like crazy. So like from this point, pulled back like 50 pips. See, that's the worst feeling when you get into a trade and then it just swings on you. So yeah, that's this is what EN's looking like right now. It just doesn't look like anything I'd want to get into unless it breaks, you know, outside of the zone. So if it breaks, rephrase that, breaks and closes outside of the zone. Actually, let me check this out. Try to get that measuring tool out. About 30 pips to the next zone. However, we still have a it's still a buy signal. So, you know, unless we have a sell signal, like right here, you can see when you got the sell signal, what it did was it came down to the zone and it rejected right off it. And then we got a buy signal right here. What happened? It rejected right off this zone. So it's literally just going to keep rejecting back and forth. Okay, so let's check this out. So Shawn said he's been in for a long time. Let's see, 5-6, 5-6-6, 5-9. Wait, 5-6-6. But are we looking at the same pair? Is it? This is like in the 7,000s. Oh, your number might be off. So you might be 7-6-6, which would be, that'd be way down here, bro. You've been holding this for like, yeah. See, I don't know if you were holding this from way down here, but you must have been up like 200 pips. Oh, it was when we were talking about it yesterday, right? Because you were asking if I called the EN trade. I remember that. Oh, EuroCAD. Okay, that makes sense. I was like, man, I was like, if you enter that from that price point, like, Shawn, when did you enter that trade? Like in 2019? Price hasn't been that low since see, Shawn said 5,000. So like, yeah, that price hasn't been that low since 2017. All right, let's pull up EuroCAD real quick. I got about 15 minutes. Actually, here, I'll give me 1 second, Shawn. I'm gonna look at the other pairs real quick. I'm gonna see if there's any entries, and then if there is, then I'm just gonna mark them so I can look at them real quick right when the candle closes. Otherwise, we'll just keep looking. So let's see, RJPY. Nothing there. Nothing there. So this would be a nice sell right here, but like I think I went over this earlier. It was just too close to the zone. It's only 18 pips. I like at least 20 to 25 pips. Turn on the pivots to see where price is trending. Looks like it's swinging up actually. So this might be a good late entry right here for a buy, but all right, check this out. I'm gonna mark it. Maybe I'll call that a late entry because like, okay, so this is what happens when if I see an entry like this and it's kind of iffy, what I do is I like to match it up and see the correlation. So I look at, if I'm looking at CAD JPY, I want to take a look at AUD JPY, CHF JPY, EJ, GJ, NJ, and UJ. So all these currency pairs, since the JPY is on the right side, if they're all angling upwards, then odds are it's probably going to continue on up, right? So look at right here, CHF JPY, it's going up. EJ, it's going up. What else? GJ, it's going up. NJ, it's going up. So like this gives you correlation that price might continue up. So what's going to happen here? I'm going to call this trade. So let me get this buy entry right here. All right. So the swing's right here, but I'm going to give it some cushion a little farther down. But yeah, I'm going to call this trade. And the strategy I'm using for this is going to be the zone strategy. So basically price came down here. It broke above it. We got a buy signal. So technically the entry would be way down here. But we're going to go off this one right here, since this was the most recent buy entry. So I'm going to call this right here. All right. Call that a buy stop. Okay, JPY. I'm going to put the trade in myself before I call it, so you guys can see I'm taking this trade for real with you guys. So right there, stop loss CP is 50 pips. My risk on this trade is going to be 5%. And there we go. So we got that pending order. I'm going to put in the parameters for the signal. Yeah, TP is 25. And I hate how I hit the, I always hit the wrong icon sometimes when it's on the, on my little thing down here. All right. That sent out. Let's see if we, I think I shared all these to the other group, right? Yeah, I think I did. All right, cool. So we got those up right there. Yeah, I got that set up right there. I'm gonna set up my alerts real quick. I still got 10 minutes, so I'm gonna try to do this real quick. And then I'm gonna keep looking through the pairs just in case we have any other entries. So TP1, 12. So this is how I set my alerts, guys. So you guys can see how quick I do everything because I'm so used to this. I do this every single day, so it's like super simple. Like the more you guys do it, the better you guys will get at this. It's all about consistency and repetition. Like I don't have to think about it. I just put everything in and we're good to go. That's good. I got all my alerts set up right there. I got to put my stop loss there for the people that say we don't post stops, but we do. All right, so there we go. We got everything set up. There goes KJBY. I'll change this to a green flag since it's currently pending. All right, we're good right here. Let me keep checking this out. So, I mean, this would have been a good sell, but it's too late. We would have to wait for this to close below the zone. And then we can enter a short position right there. I'll leave that alone for now. See what we got here. Your CAD. Euro CHF. This is actually a nice entry. The pivots. Yeah, price is also trending up. So this might be a good entry right here. Let me see. It's about 30 pips, so it's going to be a decent move. So I'm gonna do the same thing right here because it's kind of an iffy trade for me. I'm gonna go and correlate this with the other pairs. So basically all of the CHF pairs to make sure that they're all, going the same direction. So I'll correlate it with the Euro pairs to see if the Euro is strong across the board. If it's not, then I'm gonna correlate it with the Swiss franc pairs. So right here, Euro odd is going down. So the Euro is weak against the Australian dollar. Euro CAD, it's slightly coming down. Right here, it's going up. So it's kind of like, see, EG is going up, EJ is going up, EN's coming down. Yeah, this is like it's a mixed bag. So when it's like that, I don't have the confidence to take this trade, so I'm probably not going to take it. So it's the Euro CHF is going up. So this is basically showing that the Swiss franc is weak. So odd CHF, it's weak as well. CAD CHF, it's weak as well, sort of, because it came down, it's coming back up. See what else we got here. Yeah, NZD CHF, it's weak as well. USD CHF, it's slightly weak. So the correlations aren't strong enough for me to want to take this trade. So I'm just going to keep it marked, but I'm not going to call it because it's just too risky and it's not something that I feel comfortable taking. So we're going to skip that. Look at EJ. So EG, this could be an entry right here, actually. So you can see prices coming up. If it closes above the zone, then we can have an entry. So I'll keep that marked. Yeah, like I mentioned, the Euro pairs aren't correlating. So maybe we'll look at the GBP pairs and see if there's a correlation there. How are positions doing? I'm just going to exit these because I don't want to have to watch them later. Because I'm going to have to do some stuff after this. So I'll leave that alone. I'll leave CAD JPY right there. So I closed out profit for those. I think one for $100, the other one for like 50 to 60 bucks, which is nice. But I'm going to keep looking. So I'm leaving this up right here. These are technically still active. I just don't want to watch them later. But they're still there. So I'm still going to call updates for them. But now we're just waiting for CAD JPY. Man, I should have just left odd JPY because I'm looking for buy for this one too. That was a stupid decision. But whatever, profit's profit. I'll take it. Keep going. EJ. Nothing there for EG. Delete that. EJ, nothing there. Your CHF, nothing there. Your USD, nothing there. GA, still active. We have that running right now. GC, nothing. GC, nothing. GJ, nothing. GN, nothing. GU, nothing. Take it off. NZD CAD. If this closes above, this might be a good entry, but there's not enough. I mean, there's a decent cushion, 22 pips. I would much prefer 25 pips because the spread's 6 pips. So going in and out of the trade, you're gonna have to cover 12 pips. So 12 pips minus 22, it's a 10 pip profit. It's not worth it. It's just too risky. Nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there, nothing there. So there's nothing else for us to really take. GJ right here is, UJ is hitting, it's getting a buy signal, but it's hitting this zone right here, so it might reject right off it. We'll hold off on that. But yeah, that looks like that's about it. So let's look at your CAD real quick for John. We'll finish off taking a look. And it seems that stops are going in the same direction as the name likely buy stop, sell stop, but and it seems so basically so right here we're entering a buy, right? So if we're entering a buy and price is below the entry, which is right here, it's going to be a buy stop. So whenever a price shoots up, it's going to automatically trigger your order, and then you're going to be in the position. However, if our entry was down here, then this would be a buy limit. So if price comes down, it's going to guarantee that you get in at that price, and then you're kind of anticipating like a rejection off that point, shooting into the correct direction that you're anticipating it to move to. So those are the two different order types. Buy stop. Basically, if price is below it, it's going to be a buy stop. If price is below the entry, it's going to be a buy stop. If price is above the entry, it's going to be a buy limit. Vice versa, if you're entering a sell, so say you're trying to enter this sell right here, right? So you're trying to enter this for a sell down here. This would be a sell stop. However, if you're trying to enter a sell that's up here, this would be a sell limit. So those are the differences between the order types. I know a lot of people get confused by it, but you know, it all comes with practice. Like if you keep applying trades over and over again, you're gonna understand and realize, you know, what they mean and the reason for them. All right, cool. So I think that's it for those questions. Let me just go over to EuroCAD real quick. I'm gonna go over this last one for Shawn. If you guys have any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. Otherwise, we're getting close to 6 o'clock, so we've been online for a little over 2 hours, and I'm probably gonna grab dinner after this. But if you guys have any other questions, you know, I'll be in the Telegram. But let's just take a look at this real quick. All right, Shawn, so looking at EuroCAD right here, it's stuck within the zone. So just looking at it right here, this is a cool bird's eye view of it. And it looks like it's respecting these zones pretty nicely. So the last time it got stuck within the zone, it was back in August of 2020 this year. So once that happened, what happened here was price. So this might be a break and retest. So it broke it. It's probably going to retest it right here. Yeah, that's a huge spike. That's why when that happens, I usually wouldn't want to enter the trade because it might have to fill that gap. So like right here, it might come down and test this zone before, you know, shooting back up. I mean, but that might not be the case. It might just come up right here, reject off this zone, and shoot up further. But yeah, this is a huge spike right here. I mean, it spiked all the way from down here. Like it spiked twice, retraced back, pushed up a little bit, and then spiked right through it again. So it's kind of risky. Like you can see it happen exactly right here. So see this, when it spiked up, it came back and filled the gap. Same right here. It spiked up, filled the gap. So that could happen right here too. It could either come down, reject off this point and shoot back up, or it can come way down here to like fill this little gap like it did right here. It happens every time. Like just looking at the previous data, it happened so many times in the past, like, you know, odds are it's probably going to happen again. Like right here, price spiked right here. Like check out this huge gap right here. So it spiked down, fill the gap, spiked up, fill the gap, and reversed. So right here, this is a huge spike too. So I wouldn't put it past me that it's gonna, you know, probably come down a little further. So I'd be careful with this, because, you know, what could happen here is it could probably break below it, and then say we get a sell signal like this right here. If we get a sell signal right here, then it could continue down. But yeah, like where price currently is, I would just hang tight. Also, it's, you know, we're in Asia session, so it's going to move super slow. This happened at 6 a.m. I forgot what happened this morning. Was there news? I think there was. Yeah, there was U.S. news this morning at 7, so I don't know if that affected it and pushed it up. It might have not. Who knows? But yeah, me personally, I probably wouldn't take that. Let's see. Yeah, I had a buy stop order on it from a week and a half ago. Oh man, when did that fill? Was that like right? I'm hoping it was right here and you were like in profit already and you caught this like 60 pips. But if you got in right here up top, kind of risky. You can see that these are 3 red candles right here. So if this is a strong red candle and then it closes below and has a sell signal like this, for example, it could probably come down and test this zone over here. So I don't know if you're in profit right now, Shawn, but I mean, me personally, I wouldn't want to be in this trade just because of how it's moving. It's a little too risky for me. But who knows? You know, it might just come out and play. Oh, the debate's going on right now. Shit. All right, we'll see how that plays out. Hopefully, it does well for you. Let's check out our US 30 real quick. All right, US 30 is looking all right. It's coming back up. So, all right, guys. So I think that's it. It's 6 o'clock. I'm probably gonna go watch the debate just to see what happens because I have a stake in this with US 30 active. Otherwise, you know, we still have the odd JPY, or actually CAD JPY pending right here. So we have that. We have ODJPY still active. Looks like it's pushing up to full TP. And then GA right here as well. Oh, yeah. Okay, oh, my bad. Let me go back to your CAD. I want to look at the entry that Dejan had. So let's see. He had 56659. Oh, you're chilling, bro. You're like, you got a lot of, you actually 56659. Wow, you got in like real good actually. Damn, bro. So you're up like 60 pips right now. Good for you, man. I'm low key jealous that you got that without even trying your random buy stop. Oh, you know, you probably were just waiting for this to close above it, because we were talking about this too, where I think we were talking about in the webinar. That's probably where you caught it from, because we were talking about this, I think, on the it was on the what's called, on the chart analysis, the weekly chart analysis on Sunday. I was saying that if price was to break above it, because I think we were like, all right, this is a small area right here, which was only like, you know, 12 pips. I said if price was going to break above here, and I think I did put a little buy thing right here. Like I set it up like this, literally. Like I just put this out. I was like, yeah, if price closes above here, then I would take a buy. And you literally took a buy. You put it there, even though it was just an idea. I wasn't even telling anyone to put a buy there, but you know, good thing you did put it there, because it played out exactly like we thought. So yeah, that's great. I'm glad you're in profit. I would at least move your stop loss to like right here or something though, just in case, you know, just in case it shoots up, you got that, you can catch that move, or if it pulls back, you get stopped out in profit. Yeah, because when you asked me if I called your cat, I was like, I haven't called your cat in a long time, because I don't even like this pair. Like this pair has always been like iffy to me for whatever reason, and it moves too slow, so I don't like it. But I mean, you made a ton of profit off it, so that's what's up. All right, guys. So I think that's about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to put them in the Telegram. I'll be active. I got a bunch of messages to get through. Look at Aaron over here. You watching the debate? No, Aaron, I'm on the webinar, bro. Where are you? All right. So yeah, guys, if you guys have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Telegram. Otherwise, you know, I'll be available. So I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for showing up. If you guys aren't subscribed to the YouTube, you know, just subscribe below. And then whenever I go live, you guys can just join in on any of the mentoring sessions that I hold or our bi-weekly webinars. But yeah, guys, thanks for showing up. I'll catch you guys later. And I'll be live on the Telegram in a few minutes. So, all right, guys, I'll catch you guys in a bit.